In pants. You're working on a pool in the middle of summer, man.
Those are pool pants, dude.
They're not pool pants. Smart guy. Dumb decision.
That's true.
Plus, it's summertime, dude. It's 100-some
He just
degrees.
doesn't believe in chlorine, man. That's big. That's big chlorine pushing their agenda on us. It's all water. It's all drinkable.
Hey, different podcast.
No, that's the basement downstairs. That's our Patreon where Hayden gets
all
real.
the weird stuff.
Yeah. Hayden gets real down there.
The basement downstairs. I like it. Let's do it.
I do have a PowerPoint about how 9/11 indirectly created 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay.
So that's the cold open right there.
Welcome once again to the Room Upstairs podcast where we battle out movies, and we're going to be battling out some movies and some other stuff today. It's going to be a good time. My name is Bird, and I'm here with my host like usual.
The TallBeing.
Get your feet off the table.
No.
This is his house.
Yeah. This is my room upstairs.
Hayden Nivens.
Mephisjoe.
Welcome, guys. Like I said, this is the podcast where we battle out remakes and originals, which we will be doing with Robin Hood, even though we watched the wrong movie.
I've seen the other one.
But we are going to be battling out Robin Hood 2010 versus the 2018.
Yep.
We're also going to battle Mark Mothersbaugh versus Danny Elfman for the composer battle, and a second composer battle.
Doubling it up.
Next week is going to be our final episode of the year, which will be our awards show, the Sonya Awards, and we want you guys to help us vote on that stuff. But the second battle with the composer is going to be Bernard Herrmann versus Joe Hisaishi, and then the winner from there will battle in the final episode
Fight
for
to
the
the
Sonya
death.
Awards, and we're going to announce our John Williams Award winner,
Whoever loses.
along with all our other categories.
Big night.
All right, so we've got a lot of stuff to go through today. We're not going to do our usual, what'd you watch, how you doing, all that stuff. We already did it on our pre-pod. Go check our live.
Pre-pod.
So let's get into our battles. We're going to do half point for you.
Yes, for the first battle.
For the first battle, and then half point for you
For Bernard and
for
Hisaishi.
the second battle.
Yep.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started with the battles.
Let's do it, man.
All right. So first battle is going to be, like I said, Danny Elfman versus Mark Mothersbaugh. I'll read some of the credits for them, which we've done before, but any of the new listeners, here we go. So Danny Elfman, 71 years of age,
71.
141 credits, includes The Simpsons, Batman, Edward Scissorhands, Wednesday, and the Beetlejuice movies. Basically Tim Burton's guys. All right, so he's going against Mark Mothersbaugh, who is 74 years old, and he's got 274 credits, most of it going to Sims. He also did.
Hey, they needed somebody.
He also did Rugrats, Ragnarok, Cocaine Bear,
Classic.
Good wholesome movies.
Rushmore, Life Aquatic. He's Wes Anderson's guy, and of course, they're also known for the '80s bands Devo and Oingo Boingo.
Yes.
So
This is a
they've
good
battled
one.
their way from 32 composers. Is that what we had?
Yes, I think so.
32
It's a shame they're going against each other.
These are the last 4 composers that we have.
I think it's justice, dude.
It would have been nice to see Devo and Boingo Boingo.
The finals.
Yeah.
That's what we have. Oh, in the finals.
Yeah.
That's
Not
close.
the
This is
semifinals.
semifinals.
Yeah.
Very close.
Not the regionals.
This is like
Semi-regional.
yeah. It's still pretty good. It's
Post-regionals.
still pretty good.
Yeah.
Which
Semis.
it's kind of, I think, for me anyway.
Yeah.
I have a favorite that's going to move on already. So
bold statement.
yeah.
Well, should we do this?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. You want to go
Okay.
first because you're the half point?
As I'm half point? Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. I did not want to be half point for this, but to be fair, I took it because I'm a reasonable person. I'm a good human being.
He didn't fight at all.
No,
actually.
at all. No.
So.
So I'm right off the bat, Danny Elfman.
Okay.
I really like Mark Mothersbaugh. One, he's just funny. he's really funny.
Okay.
Like as a person, music aside, he's really entertaining.
Uh-huh.
Danny Elfman also is. I'll give him that. But the Devo Tiny Desk concert is extremely entertaining because
okay.
of Mark Mothersbaugh.
Uh-huh.
That aside, music-wise,
Yeah.
he has a lot of range. I think Ragnarok especially is one that the techno part of that is the part that we usually look at the most as like, oh yeah, that's kind of his style.
Uh-huh.
But he does do a lot of really cool orchestral stuff. Like the best piece of music I think from that movie is the Odin death scene, which is not techno at all. It's mostly like these really slow, drawn out strings that bleeds into like Hela's.
The word you're
entrance
looking for is somber.
Yeah, somber. Thank you. I can't thesauricize whenever I'm
or dictionary
or
eyes.
dictionary eyes. Yeah,
It's called called wordiotomy.
yeah. I cannot English them.
That sounds almost fake.
Almost fake.
Almost fake, man.
So I think he has a lot of range
Yeah.
that we kind of don't give Mark Mothersbaugh as much credit for sometimes.
And you still don't.
Yeah, obviously. But Danny Elfman also got range, I think.
Yeah.
And I just really like his vibe.
Yeah.
Like, the Batman theme is awesome.
I found a gun on the
It's so
floor.
good. Thanks for your input.
Yeah. It's a Lego.
It's
This
a
is,
little
this is for
gun,
Lego.
man. Yeah.
It goes in the Lego room.
I really like Danny. I think the Batman theme is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
The original. The
one that
89.
they use for Lego, they use for every like
exactly. It's still like chill inducing. It's awesome.
Oh, the one that goes something.
Yeah, he probably influenced that also. You know, he
I'm
was
sure he
80s,
did.
Nirvana's 90s.
Him and then
That's,
the ghost of what's his name?
Bernard Herrmann.
Yeah.
Secret Nirvana.
I'm sticking to that one.
Yeah.
So
Ghost Bernard Herrmann. He's in Batman.
So yeah, short and sweet. Danny Elfman, my pick.
Short and sweet. We kept going off tangents. It would have been short and sweet. We would have just let you talk. Okay.
part of the
It's
course.
fine.
I'll go next.
All right.
Danny Elfman.
Oh. All right.
Dang.
Honestly, man,
Danny Elfman.
yeah, I'm sorry, dude. It has to be Danny.
He's got Danny Elfman's picture in his locket.
Yeah, I mean, I really, yeah, it's just.
I mean,
I mean,
Spider-Man. I forgot to
honestly-
mention Spider-Man.
But like Batman alone, man.
Yeah.
Like we talked about how like we really like the Robert Pattinson movie and everything, and like there's other Batman stuff that like we like. But you want to talk music that makes you feel Batman? It's got to be the old like Michael Keaton like Batman. And I mean, when we started like diving into that stuff when I was younger, like you were just like, hey, like this is Batman for a reason, like because the whole characteristic of it.
I actually like grabbed him by the head and I was like, "This is Batman."
This is Batman. There's going to be other Batmans. Ignore them. This is Batman.
This is the real Batman.
Yeah. And so, like, even though I like the Robert Pattinson Batman, dude, if I could put the Danny Elfman music into it, I mean, goodness gracious, like it's too powerful at that point.
That's interesting. I don't think that would work.
Hey, it's fine. It's okay.
It's a very different aesthetic, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
But it definitely fits that.
But
Tim
all
Burton
the
one.
arguments that you always have for like what music can do for a movie, you know, like I think in the last episode, like we really got into it, even though we had the same pick.
Yeah.
Your whole argument for like what music can add, I think your best argument is Danny Elfman. I mean, I get it, man.
Yeah.
Like it really like
he makes the movie.
he makes you want to watch the movies once you hear the music.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you're like, you know, we're going into the Christmas season, so it's like, oh, we're gonna watch Christmas movies, but then you know, here I am prepping for the podcast, and then it's like, I'm gonna go do a deep dive on the Elfman.
Yeah, and you can throw on The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah,
there you go.
And honestly, the best
or
part,
Batman.
or Batman, yeah, it's a Christmas movie,
Yeah, Christmas. Why not?
and so I gotta go Danny Elfman, man.
Okay. So that's 1.5. You
Yep.
want to go next, or I'll go next? We go in order.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
He looks annoyed.
Oh no, I'm I stared at the light too long.
Yeah, don't do that.
So yeah, Mark Mothersbaugh is the underdog, I think.
Oh yeah, I don't. It's kind of
he,
crazy
like,
he got this far.
He
Listen,
clawed his way through.
Yeah, I'll say you knew that little man. TallBeing over there was never going to vote for him.
Little man, TallBeing.
Listen, and did I vote Danny Elfman because I'm still holding a grudge about Giacchino? No. But I kind of wish I did.
Yeah, well,
Mark Mothersbaugh shouldn't be
It was a weird
here.
thing to add, man.
He shouldn't be here. I'm still mad about that.
Mark Mothersbaugh deserves to be here, I think, with 200 and whatever credits, 74 or whatever I said.
No, hey, he did good.
Yeah.
did all right, yeah.
And you
He
said
did
it
The
before.
Sims, you know?
And I'll say it
Decent.
again.
Yeah, he's got a wide range of movies. It's not just The Sims.
Yeah.
So he deserves to be here, I think.
But
Um,
I thought you were about to lead up to the butt.
well, I was still gonna keep talking him
Okay,
up.
okay.
Hey, we're
But
not talking
I'll go
about
ahead and
Tyson
finish.
right now.
Yeah.
So I do vote Elfman. I do vote Elfman.
He's
Just
moving on.
Because you're a man of taste.
as far as what themes actually stick with me more, it's Elfman for sure.
That's fair.
The Edward Scissorhands,
Yeah.
the Alice in Wonderland, the Batman the Animated Series. Also, I mean, he's got tons of stuff. He did the Hulk.
Yeah.
The Eric Bana one?
He did. I don't remember which Hulk it was.
The first one. The
Norton.
No, not Norton.
Eric
Bana.
Bana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did one of the Hulks.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Eric
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. So like, just as far as overall, which themes do I listen to? Which ones resonate with me? It's Elfman.
It's the Elfman.
The Elfman.
But Mothersbaugh definitely deserves to be up in the top.
He did all right.
He did very well.
He did. Yeah.
Much better than we had
He,
anticipated.
hey, he did something.
And again, Elfman did the singing on Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
So that's points for him too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so, wild card over here. Everything in me is like, oh, yeah, Mothersbaugh. We, fought and pushed and...
Mhm.
But, man, that Jack Skellington voice just really does it for me. So, yeah, I think Elfman's going to sweep.
There you go.
Dang.
Sweep.
Sweep. So that's our first finalist.
Yeah.
All right, Danny Elfman.
First contender. for
Anything
our
else
John
you want to say
Williams.
on him?
Nah, you guys said it all.
Mike
I'm fine.
Tyson.
So
Yeah.
Danny Elfman moves on to the final. Are we going to go ahead and do the next one right now?
Dude, why keep him waiting?
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's probably a Mike Tyson joke.
Okay.
Yeah. Mothersbaugh did not whip it.
Let's see who. No, he did not.
No.
He was whipped. I'll just go ahead and buzz.
No, I didn't. Wasn't me. I didn't say nothing.
He had an uncontrollable
That dog's gonna
urge.
think
It's
it's me.
okay.
Precedent has been set, Hayden.
Oh, the dog's gonna think it was me. All right.
Okay.
Listen, that's good. It's an uncontrollable urge. I can't blame you. Did I just look up Devo songs? I did, but
Hey, that was quick on the draw. Thing is, you can edit it like you did it seamlessly.
there was no break in
Dude,
between.
The whole audience is gonna be like,
No.
"Man, TallBeing so quick."
That's not seen the light of day. He gets to edit. He made a poor joke. He's going to edit it out.
Oh
Okay.
no, I'm keeping that one in. That was hilarious.
Okay.
Time
Hey,
to
so
get a new
are we
one.
going into the
It's like-
next music
Yeah,
or
dude.
the
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
So
Let's
we're
do
gonna
it.
get into the next battle.
All right,
Might as well see who Elfman's gonna go up against next.
Yeah, I already
episode.
got my pick.
double feature.
Okay, so here we
You
go.
half point? All right. So you already got your pick, half point?
Tell,
Wait.
Well,
tell,
hold on.
Yeah.
He's gotta do
Yeah.
tell
the.
the tape.
He's gotta talk about it.
Yeah,
so this is to recap real quick.
Okay.
Bernard Herrmann
Bernard.
versus Joe Hisaishi.
Yes.
Joe.
Just so we're all clear, because we went real fast to this.
I was about to do the tail of the tape. So.
Yeah, just making
He was doing it real slow.
All right. Cool. So Joe's tale. 74 years.
Mhm.
133 credits. Studio Ghibli
Quincy Jones.
and Quincy Jones. That's his credits.
Special Olympics, man.
And the Special Olympics.
Yeah, you pointed it out last time.
I did. I mean, just like John Williams. He's following in the footsteps of the great.
I don't know why I'm laughing. You're doing such a great job, and you look at me, and I'm like, "You're doing great, man. I'm so proud of you."
Thanks for the encouragement.
Listen, hey, I told you he was going to be a problem.
Dude, I tried staying home.
Okay.
I'm in a weird
So-
place right now.
So he is going up against Bernard Herrmann.
Mm.
64 years, passed away already. Rest in peace, Bernard Herrmann. We love you for all that you did. 92 credits for him.
I didn't
pour one out.
I didn't say anything.
So he did basically all Alfred Hitchcock's movies.
He was in there. Yeah.
So that's Bernard Herrmann.
Back when they didn't have options.
If you want the full credits, you can go back to our older episodes and check those out. So there we go. That's the tail of the tape. You got half point.
Yeah.
So you go first.
I'm going for Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones.
I mean, I think I kind of made it clear the last time Bernard Herrmann somehow made it through.
Yes, you were very clear that you are not a fan.
I'm still not. But also, this isn't a pick because I'm anti-Bernard. I mean, the case you guys made for Hisaishi, like I went back and like really like dove into that stuff, and I don't know, it's good. It really is good. I mean, I know I said I don't like the Studio Ghibli movies because of the music.
Yeah.
But I do like the music.
Yeah.
And so it definitely is, I don't know, it's worth a listen. Like,
Sure.
for anyone that, you know, they're not even sure about getting into anime, I would recommend start with this kind of music. Enjoy that feel and then get into the movies, you know?
Oh, you're saying listen to the music first.
You guys have convinced me.
Okay.
That's a good move. And so I'm definitely going Hisaishi this pick.
Okay.
I know I'm just half a point, but I hope that half a point counts.
We will see. Order then, and then we'll come back to you as last, or do you want to go next?
I don't want to go next. I'm actually undecided.
Oh, okay.
Oh!
Wow.
We'll go in order then. So, this is hard because to me, I see them as the fantasy anime guy versus like the thriller action guy.
Very different.
Which is very different. And then when you compare the actual music, also very different. You've got the lighthearted, fun Joe Hisaishi stuff. And then you've got the more harsh, abrasive, like tonal Bernard Herrmann stuff. Mm-hmm. So it was really hard to compare them and like, you know, which one is better musically. But we're doing composer, right? We're doing the score. So we have to, or I'm trying to match it with the movies. And then that's tough too, because they've got good movies. So then I'm trying to like, okay, well, which one am I going to listen to?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's tough.
And then like we said it last time when we talked, when Joe moved on, like his stuff.
And we brought him back in.
We brought him back in, but his stuff will bring me to tears sometimes. Yeah. If I'm in a mood. But Bernard Herrmann's Taxi Driver and North by Northwest is great scores.
I listen to Taxi Driver so much.
So for me, this is a really, really hard choice because of the differences in style.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the finals. We brought Joe back. Bernard is gone. Like, it's a hard pick here.
I feel like you're making it harder than it needs to be.
So, no, it's very difficult, Hayden. If you don't have a heart, you know, I'm sorry.
For all you guys out there, you know I don't have one, so it's fine.
But I think ultimately, I will go with Bernard Herrmann.
Dang.
As my vote. So, 1 point for Bernard, half a point for Joe.
I'll tell you right now, he's not winning the whole thing.
We'll see.
I won't let it happen.
We'll see about it. I have my favorite for the final.
Apparently you do. I mean.
So, Joe?
Yeah, I picked Joe. Joe. It's not...
Tiebreak.
It is not easy, but here's the deal. There is legit not a week that goes by where I don't listen to Merry-Go-Round of Life. And several of the other, like, I mean, I just really like his style, and it really fits the movies well, right? Like, because if you watch, like, Howl's Moving Castle and then Spirited Away, like, they have different feels, and he does such a good job of portraying that. I'm not saying Bernard Herrmann doesn't do that, but, like, sometimes his is a little much for me to just listen to. Yeah. And I know, because I've watched the movie, like, they fit fine in the movies they're in. But even then, sometimes I'm like, this is, like, I don't know. It's just a little too, it takes me kind of out of the experience.
Okay.
And when we're talking about composer battles, like that's kind of the point, right? Like the music should influence and extend that experience, that movie going experience. And if I'm just judging on which one I think does it better for me, it's Joe.
All right. Well, that's 1 for Joe.
Respectable.
No, 1.5 for Joe.
Yeah.
1 for Bernard.
1 for Bernard.
So yeah, it's up to you who's going to the finals. And I'll just throw it out there, not to try and influence you.
But he's going to.
Busta Rhymes used a sample of Bernard Herrmann.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Busta Rhymes.
The other
Busta
guy was
Rhymes.
inspired by Quincy Jones.
he was inspired.
He didn't need a sample.
Who also Busta Rhymes sampled.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen. Just also not trying to influence you, but Busta Rhymes hung out with Diddy.
Day ruined.
I'll go do it myself.
That poor dog.
All right. So what do you think?
Okay, I'm gonna have to talk myself into
Yeah, go
either of
for
these
it.
options. So I'm gonna have to
I mean, that's what I
think
did.
this. Yeah, I'm thinking this out loud.
Just close your eyes. Just do it, man. Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
Really,
have.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
It's fine.
You don't
It's
want to be
fine.
influenced by us. Close your eyes.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's okay.
It's fine. It's cool. It's all good. It's all good. All right, so I'm gonna have to look through some of these real quick.
Oh my
So Bernard Herrmann.
He's doing his homework right now.
No, I've been listening to them.
He's
but
just
like,
looking up pictures of Quincy Jones. I don't think he knew who Quincy Jones was. I think this is how we found out.
yeah.
He's rewatching the end of that interview with Mike Tyson's son.
Yeah.
While he
So-
reads through that,
No, it's fine. It's
ready?
fine.
Okay.
Okay. So he's got the Twilight Zone. Bernard
Yeah.
Herrmann does.
Yeah.
That's big.
Not the main theme though.
True. He's got.
Why is it being funny?
I don't know why it was funny. It's just your face and everything. Like, not the main theme, though. Like,
Well, because
I know.
Whatever,
But, like, that's
you know.
what was going to be the deal breaker.
Yeah.
It was like, what?
because people
Yeah.
will think like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course I know that theme, and like
Yeah.
Different.
not-
but it's
different,
not that one.
different.
It's not
yeah.
Bernard.
That's not Burn.
It's not Bernard.
Yeah, we can't have misinformation going out. Okay?
Fake news.
Fact
podcast.
check.
Which,
bro.
speaking of fake information, I did say whenever Danny Elfman battled last time that he did the Mission Impossible theme,
Mhm.
which he did do. He did do the movies, but he didn't come up with the main theme. He
Tom
remade
Cruise
it.
did.
It's Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise
Back in
did.
1967, Tom
Dude,
Cruise
he was
like,
killing it back then,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. He's you know what?
60. No.
Yeah, it's from the 60s.
Yeah, man, it's from the show, dude.
Mm-hmm.
There was a
It
show?
was a TV show. That's
Oh,
why
I am
gosh.
way behind. That's not Bernard Herrmann.
Misinformation. So I wanted to apologize for that. Danny Elfman didn't come up with Mission Impossible the theme, but he did redo it for the.
That's points
For the
against
movies.
him, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you fact checked yourself.
I had to. You know, it's the internet. You got to keep everything true.
I think it's pronounced interwebs.
Yeah.
The
On,
World Wide Web.
Yeah.
All right.
On the line.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's let him go.
Yeah. Let him.
You're the one
Let,
kept
We got
cutting them
to
off.
let him cook.
let me cook. Let me cook.
Serve him.
Okay. I keep coming back to
I
Taxi
think it's
Driver.
pronounced kook.
The
Mhm.
the saxophone in that score is so good. It's so good. It's just like ear candy.
That's
But
the weirdest thing he's ever said.
Joe
What?
Joe Hisaishi tends, whenever he reuses themes from a movie, specifically, I keep coming back to Merry-Go-Round of Life, even like the extended version of that song. It repeats that melody in the same way that like Giacchino does the Up theme,
Mhm.
where it's that same melody, but just in one piece of music changes multiple times to
Right.
fit this different story narrative that's changing.
Right.
And the music reflects that. Ooh.
And that song, listen, I know we didn't talk about it extended, but like, because it kind of picks up pace, right?
Yeah.
And then right towards the end, there's just like chaos, and then
And then
harmony
slows
again.
down.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's a really good representation of not only I think Howl's Moving Castle, which it features heavily in, but like life in general. Yeah,
Yeah. It's merry-go-round of life. It's
Yeah.
it really does feel like a theme song for this guy who's lived a pretty long and fulfilling life. Who's like, yeah, this is what it feels like just to be alive
Yeah.
for a long.
You might even
period of
call
time.
it ear candy.
You know what? I think I do. And I think I'm going to give my vote to Joe.
Oh,
Hey!
okay.
Oh,
Here, tag it.
oh,
Yeah.
There we go.
Pass
it on.
around.
That's right.
Pass the germs. Pass the germs.
No. You went.
Participation
You don't
trophy.
get
Yeah.
the vote for the other team.
Participation
Share the
trophy.
love.
You changing your vote all of a sudden?
No, I'm not. I'm good with my vote. But Joe Hisaishi is going to go ahead and move on, and he's going to battle Danny Elfman.
So
Yeah.
Joe versus Danny
The
for our
Elfman.
Final episode at the Sonya Awards for the John Williams.
Listen,
Jack
Listen.
Skeleton versus Quincy Jones.
Listen, Joe deserves to. I mean, remember that he got eliminated
I
by
know.
John Williams.
John Williams, who
This-
we ended up having to be like, no, this is gonna be a slaughter. Like
Yeah.
the award now is the John Williams Award. Next year when we do it, I don't know.
So this is the fight I wanted.
It is.
Like when we came here tonight to record,
You wanted
these are
this
the
outcome.
two that I wanted. I thought this was
Yeah.
going to be the actually good final matchup.
Yeah.
I think it's really going to push us to really reconsider.
We're going to go
and,
into some deep discussion on this next
I
one.
mean, oh gosh.
How much you pay you?
What? I didn't pay him nothing, man. I'm half point, dude. Listen, I'm half point. He was half point. So,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
I actually saw him. He pulled out the note app on his phone
Oh yeah.
and typed in, "I will kill you if you don't vote for Joe," and then just showed it to him like he was going to show a video.
Yeah.
Cool video.
No,
man.
he came
Mike
in.
Tyson.
Yeah, no, he came in and he said, "I'm gonna eat your kids if you don't vote." Right?
Poor Mike Tyson. But no, these are the two I wanted to see.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a good battle. And if anybody doesn't know why we took John Williams out and we made it the John Williams Award, watch the documentary on Disney Plus
Yeah.
of John Williams. What is it called? Music by John Williams.
Yeah.
How many times did you cry during that?
Oh, dude.
3 times. 3 times.
That's it.
You hit double digits, didn't you, Bird?
No. I
Mine
didn't.
were at weird times too. I'll talk about that off the
But-
podcast.
The-
Parts that were not meant for crying. He's like,
yeah, music by John Williams. I mean, he's just got the hugest catalog of
Yeah.
music that nobody can beat him.
yeah,
It's
it makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
you talk about goats. I don't think that you can argue that he
Talking
is.
about goats,
Yes, goats.
like the
Yeah, like that.
livestock.
Like he's the one.
He's livestock.
He's the one.
That's how you
He's
view
the
it?
one.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do our final battle of the day.
Mhm.
Robin Hood 2010 versus 2018. Let's do the tail of the tape.
hmm
All right. So, Robin Hood 2010. It's a 2-hour and 20-minute extravaganza.
I watched that one.
Extravagant.
Extravaganza. It's
Strap in, people.
PG-13, directed by Ridley Scott. Stars Russell Crowe, Kate Blanchett, William Hurt, Oscar Isaac, a very young Oscar Isaac, which I did not remember.
It was a.
Good input.
Well,
Good
it's just like
analysis.
I like Oscar Isaac so much. I don't know how I forgot about this
We can
role.
tell he just left you speechless, man.
He did. I was like, and like how they introduced him too. I was like, what is happening?
Scoot over,
and then
Zoe
you see it's
Deschanel.
him under the blanket. I was like, oh damn it.
So stars also Mark Strong. I want to mention
I
him.
love Mark Strong.
That's why I wanted
Mark
to
Strong's
mention.
great.
And then the music was
He's in
done
Dune.
by
Hey.
Mark Streitenfeld. Yeah, so 2018. It's an hour 56 minutes, a little bit shorter.
Because
Also PG-13, directed by Otto Bathurst.
he turned around.
So this one stars Taron Eagerton, Jamie Foxx, Ben Mendelsohn, Eve Hewson.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Jamie Dornan.
All of them, man.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant from
He's in
the
it.
Thunder.
That's Durant. But he could have also been in it as the same character, I think. And then the music was done by Joseph Trapanese.
Trapanese.
Yeah, you
That's a
remember him?
cool last name, man.
Guess what?
Trapanese.
Guess what country he's from?
I don't want to. It's gonna make me look bad. Whatever I say.
Okay, so that's the tail of the tape.
Hey, can I ask a
Let's
real
get
quick?
Hayden out of this
Yeah, go
one.
ahead, go ahead.
Let's get into our-
Trapanese.
I have a legit question.
Okay.
The Crow version,
Uh-huh.
was that planned to have a sequel or like a continuation in any way?
Do we know?
I'm
I
gonna
don't-
I'm gonna talk about that. I don't know.
I don't know, but so it was really.
Would you just bet?
It was Ridley Scott, and based off of his other movies, so he did Gladiator, right? He did Alien.
It was gonna tie in with Alien. I've heard.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe fighting Alien.
No, I'm just saying, like his movies always have like an open, kind of an open end where you can keep going, which they did on some of those movies.
He knows what makes money.
Yeah. So I don't know. There may be one in another 5 years.
yeah. Give it to us.
Yeah.
That's a bold choice when your lead actor is 45 years old.
Dude, well, they're doing it with Gladiator, and the lead actor is not in it, so it's possible.
Yeah, but he's dead, man.
A planned sequel
I
was
know.
canceled because the movie didn't do well.
For now.
For now.
Yeah.
If the movie does well now in theaters.
Netflix.
Start a petition. Give it to us.
It's look, if it starts running up numbers on Netflix, they might pick it up for a sequel.
Call him up and he'd be like, I did.
Hey, if you guys want this, just like you did with Sonic and Knuckles, go watch it.
Dude, if we
We're
get
gonna
this
hit-
before a Conan movie,
I was about to say, do Conan also.
We're just gonna hit Ridley Scott's sequel era. He
Yeah.
does a bunch of sequels to his
I'm
other
saying,
stuff.
like, if Gladiator 2 does well, along with Wicked, right? Glicked? The Glicked phenomenon is coming.
Glicked! Let us know your thoughts on Glicked.
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah. So Ridley Scott, he's coming back. Because
Apparently.
Alien, I mean, Romulus, right?
Yeah, he was
and,
so good.
and Earth.
I'm saying.
Yeah, I have
It's
some
pronounced
thoughts on that,
Romulan.
but
Ooh,
Romulus.
No,
Star
they
Trek.
got issues
That's
with
Star Trek.
Romulan.
No, it's,
All right, let's go. You got categories? How are we going to do it this
Dude,
time?
he's
I got
he's got
categories.
so many
We're getting
categories.
some
Category
classic
1.
categories.
Okay.
All right. Real easy, simple. Protagonist. And you know where this leaves us after.
Oh,
But-
man.
I think this will be a much easier who is the
Yeah.
antagonist of the movie. So,
I vote
protagonist.
Kevin Costner.
So, you did watch the Kevin Costner movie instead
Listen,
of these
hey,
two.
here, this is a little impressive. Okay, this is the only time I'll bring it up. My wife watched it with me and loved it.
Kevin Costner?
Yeah,
That's a good movie.
Yeah,
it's a good
Sounds
movie.
like
So-
you should share that next year.
We're gonna battle.
Record it.
We're gonna battle that movie with the original.
Yeah,
Robin
OG.
Hood, the black and white one.
Errol Flynn.
Yeah. So that's gonna be
Actually,
Next
it's not
year.
black and white. I thought this
Oh,
whole
really?
time I thought it was black and white. It's
maybe
not
just
black
the
and white.
cover is black and white. Then
No, it's
I
been-
remember something being black and white.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Okay.
So
well,
I could be
whatever. The Errol Flynn one.
wrong. All my dreams are in black and white, so I don't know.
Okay, that's
like this
I-
podcast.
Yeah.
okay. So that'll be the future. Kevin Costner will be in the future.
Yeah, come
Right
on.
now is Russell Crowe, Taron Egerton. Right,
The
we're
Crow.
counting them as the protagonists, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
buddy.
All right.
No, actually, that's named Jamie
Listen,
Foxx.
honestly,
Jamie
a big-
Foxx is a big
Jamie
part of the
Foxx had a
segment.
lot happen to him.
Listen, can I go first? Can I go
Yes.
first? Okay,
Go ahead,
so it's
go
been
ahead.
a minute since I saw the Edgerton one, right? But he's getting my vote because there's two reasons. Okay.
Okay.
One, he was actually in the forest a whole bunch, and two, he used a bow a lot.
Right.
Right. I don't know what they were going for with the Crow one, but that was
Okay.
not Robin Hood.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just doing this right now.
I guess so.
All right, we're doing this right now.
Oh, we're doing the podcast? All right. Let's
No,
do the podcast.
I had a category I was specifically going to bring this up with, but I'm just
Okay.
going to do it now because I think it needs to go out of the way immediately.
Yeah, man.
Let's
Rant.
go.
Rant.
Yeah.
Rant.
The Russell Crowe movie, I think, is a legitimately good movie,
It is a good movie.
Yes.
but
It's
it's
not
not
Robin
a
Hood.
Robin Hood movie.
Yes. Thank you.
It's how we talked about the
Godzilla.
90s Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
It is,
Zilla.
yeah, Zilla. If you didn't name it Godzilla, it would have been,
Yeah.
I think,
just
a pretty
call
good.
Big Lizard in New York.
Right. It would have been a good movie.
Yeah, Stomped in New York. I don't know. You
Yeah.
could come up with something fun. But yeah, I think this is a really cool, like, medieval epic.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoyed it as, like, all of these storylines happening simultaneously. They interweave and cross over at different points, and then the climax is, you know, all of them in the same place. It's a really cool, like, well done story. It's not a Robin Hood story.
Yeah. And so to back that up, there was a, I can't remember what year it came out, but there was a King Arthur movie
Mhm.
starring,
Charlie Hunnam.
no,
Oh yeah. What's the name?
You didn't know.
cutting all of this for time.
All right. While you look that up, I'm going to say this real quick about the movies. I think they were both like origin type movies.
Mm-hmm. That was interesting.
Which is what I will give to the Crow one. Like, we don't see him so much as the Robin Hood we know because it was kind of an origin story. But like,
don't call it Robin Hood. Call it Robin Hood Origins or something, or Birth of Robin Hood.
What's the difference?
Robin Hood First Steps.
You can't. Pre-Robin Hood.
Robin Hood First Dance.
Robin Longstride.
All the good stuff.
That
Yeah.
was his name?
Call it Longstride.
Longstride.
And the fans would know what it means.
Yeah.
They're like,
We get it.
I mean,
die-hard Robin Hood fans. You know how that fandom is.
yeah, dude.
Real active in the 1800s.
I mean, I just think subtitles and stuff like that is always. If we watch the movie, we'll get it. Like, I don't need subtitles.
Yeah, but going
Robin
into
Hood
the
Part
movie,
2. Yeah, I saw the first one. I know this is part 2. Like, you know, I don't need that. You know, I get what you're saying, but I don't need that.
Say subtitles? What are you talking about?
Does it say subtitles?
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
I don't.
You meant like a subtitle.
Yeah.
Not like subtitles.
Oh, like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Right.
yeah.
Like, why do we need
Dude,
that?
next year, man. We're coming to
Why
it.
do we need that? You know?
All right. So I remember.
We'll
I
rant
think
about
in-
that next year.
All right. Are you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, so I was going to say that what you said
Pound.
is the Egerton version,
Mhm.
although it is also an origin story, you do see more Robin Hood. So, like,
Mhm.
there's that judgment.
Yeah. And it was really funny to me because going into that, like watching that movie, I said a few times, like, this feels more like a Batman movie.
Dude,
He's
Egerton-
real Batman-y
the
for
Egerton
some
was
reason.
totally Batman. It had, I actually put notes on that.
But also, he did wear a hood.
True. So
Yeah,
maybe he was more
but-
like Arrow.
Green Arrow?
Yeah.
No, it was definitely Batman. Batman Begins, the Nolan version, right? Because he's like, he plays the rich guy, the playboy guy, right? That's buying stuff
Holy cow.
and going up to like the
It's just
villain.
Rogue One.
It's
and
Rogue
Batman.
One and Batman.
It's both of them.
Listen,
yes,
I hate to break
exactly.
this to you guys, but Batman was not the originator of that trope.
No,
Yeah, I
Batman
know,
is the
but, like-
original,
Let
dude.
him have
Everybody knows.
Yeah, specifically, like the
He
rich guy alter
needs
ego.
this.
I
He
think.
needs this.
Yeah, again,
Yeah,
not
he's
the
playing
originator.
both sides,
True.
right? He's
Yeah.
playing both sides. Like
You ever
Gotcha.
read Scarlet
and I'm saying
Pimpernel?
Batman Begins.
All right, I'll give you that one.
Pimpernel.
Yeah. No. Pumpernickel. You don't know
Did
that
you
one?
just do?
No, you don't know that one. You
No.
don't know that one?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, dude. That was my favorite. It was Donald Duck. Not Donald Duck. Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
You can't even get your ducks straight, man.
Get your ducks in a row.
Roger Rabbit duck.
Nice.
I'll give props. I'll give props.
I liked it, man. Screw you. It was a fun joke. All right.
I'm keeping that one in.
Anyway, Daffy Duck. He
Yeah.
does the Scarlet Pumpernickel. Look it up.
Don't look it up.
Google that.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you got the Batman that he's playing both sides. He's the playboy guy, right?
He's gonna
You've
find it
got
and make a
Two-Face in
TikTok.
it.
Yeah.
You got Two-Face in it, right? Like at the end, the bad guys, he gets burned
Oh
up,
gosh, yeah.
right? Yeah. What else? What else?
Was this movie every movie?
This movie was
Like if you
every
really
movie.
break it down, it was like watching Devil Wears Prada. Like the whole movie, like every part is just like it can connect to something.
No, it's Batman Begins and Rogue
Rogue
One.
One and
That's
and Zilla, the 1999 Zilla movie.
no, and he also like doesn't. He knows how to fight, but not really,
Yeah.
right? Just like Batman Begins, he gets trained
Yeah.
by Ra's al Ghul.
But Jamie Foxx isn't the villain.
Right.
I mean, it's
All right,
essentially
spoiler.
Encino
Anyway.
Man.
That could have been a cool twist. But no.
All right. So, did we vote? Did you guys vote?
No,
No.
we're talking about this.
Yeah. So
I didn't even vote. I was starting on a rant and didn't even
Wait,
vote.
I voted, right?
Yeah,
Did
you voted.
Yeah.
Did you finish your rant?
Basically.
Okay.
I just thought it was funny because when we watched the Taron Egerton one, watching it, I was like, this is not a very good Robin Hood movie, I feel like. Like, this
Mhm.
feels like a superhero movie
yeah,
instead of trying to do, like, the medieval kind. Because they're trying to balance it real weird.
yeah, they did.
And, like,
I remember
It
the
feels
pacing being
extremely-
really odd in that movie as well.
yeah, everything about it felt modern in a bad way.
Oh,
Not necessarily, like, the MCU-ified, like, Hollywood movies. It did have
Yeah.
some of that.
well, like
But like the music, we'll get to that too, is extremely modern cinematic kind of music. Everything about it felt like we'll get to it.
Yeah,
but
okay.
it felt like a modern movie instead of a medieval movie.
Mhm.
And I like that about the Russell Crowe.
that it stayed in the
It's-
medieval.
Yeah, it feels
And
medieval, while
They-
the other
they
one
went in
feels
on that.
yeah, while the Taron Egerton one feels modern with like kind like a swords and sorcery skin
It felt
over
it
it.
felt to
Mhm.
me like a swords and sorcery like Guy Ritchie movie.
Mm,
That's
yeah,
a good way to put it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, this one was hard because like I kind of agree with both you guys. Whereas,
I'm here too.
well, that's what I'm talking. He hasn't talked yet. Like, I'm
Oh,
agreeing
gotcha.
with, like,
You don't count.
no,
Bird.
you do count. It's just they voted.
Bernard voter.
Oh
Hayden
my
doesn't
gosh, no.
Hey, I'm all good.
So I like the Russell Crowe Robin Hood
He's
movie.
blackballing you.
It feels very like authentic medieval. Like they tried to be like, all right, historically, what would this look like?
Mhm.
It was a good period piece.
And
Yes.
and that's what I was trying to talk about with the King Arthur movie that came out in like 2004, starring Clive Owen and like Keira Knightley.
Clive.
It did. It felt like you're trying to take a mythos story and be like, all right, well, historically, it would have fit here.
Mm.
And you try to make it so realistic that it feels like it's more about the story, not the character.
Mhm.
But where the Taron Egerton one, they go too much into the character and make it modern and make it feel even whimsical at times. And like
It feels like a fantasy movie a lot of the time. It's real odd.
for a movie with no magic in it, like he's right. It feels like a sorcerer Guy Ritchie movie, but there's like no magic. Like it's weird.
Hmm.
And so it's if we want to, we're not talking about favorite movie out of the two, like better movie. But if you want to talk better Robin Hood, I kind of agree with Joe on this one. The Taron Egerton was Robin Hood. I mean, he did the hood stuff, he did the bow stuff. As much as I like the Russell Crowe movie better, which I mean, you know, the rest of this episode is going to go the way it goes. It doesn't matter. I do agree with Taron Egerton being more of the Robin Hood. Like if we put these two guys up against each other, I mean, the guy has skills. I mean, he's doing. I mean, is it believable? No. But was the character a real life character? No. And so I feel
But it's
like
a movie.
If you
Yeah.
told me this movie legit was in like a Guy Ritchie universe, like with that King Arthur movie with Charlie Hunnam,
yeah.
I'd go, yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Sounds right.
They both have a King Arthur movie that they feel like those two movies feel the same.
Yeah.
And then the Russell Crowe one, and then this old King Arthur movie with Clive Owen feels the same.
Oh,
And-
that King Arthur one.
Yeah,
We
and
gotta do a
so
King Arthur battle
Yeah.
well, yeah, hey, it's coming up
next year.
yeah, next year, baby. And so yeah, I do. I gotta agree with Joe on this one. Like I see your points, and I agree with you. Like when we want to break down like the movie feels, it feels off, but
Talking about the protagonist right here. Yeah.
we're not talking story because I didn't like the newer movies really story. But man, that kid was Robin Hood, and so I got to give it to him.
Okay. Did you vote?
I didn't vote. No.
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
No,
That's
I
why
just went on a rant. It's fine. It's fine. I was still kind of considering too.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I can vote
Okay.
right. So yeah, one of them was Robin Hood, and one of them was a knight that gets outcast and then will maybe one day become Robin Hood. So it is hard.
Yeah.
Because as a character, also like, I was way more invested in Russell Crowe. He just had more stuff going on. I thought he was more likable. There's nothing against Taron Egerton. He's just, kind of bland sometimes.
Yeah.
Nothing like it felt more like writing than anything else most of the time. I didn't care about his romance at all. They kept showing me flashbacks of like, oh, look how much they love each other.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I don't care. You're telling me how much they love each other. And instead of just giving me an extended prologue of, and here's the time they spent, and now they have to be torn apart, even though they see each other again like 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
And I don't. It's weird. It's a weird movie.
She moved on quick, dude.
It was 2 years.
2 years.
I think it was more than that, actually.
Yeah,
Wasn't
something like that.
I'm just
yeah.
saying,
don't
Maid
know.
Marian in the other one waited 5 years.
So yeah, as a protagonist, I think I'm gonna give it to Russell Crowe. I just liked his character more, and I was more invested in him. Was he a better Robin Hood? No, But as a main character that I
Oh,
wanted
that's
to root
true.
for,
Okay,
You know,
I'll give it
but
to
the
that.
movie is called Robin Hood.
right.
yeah.
But the category was who is the better protagonist.
Is there a Robin Hood category?
I have adapting Robin Hood. in
Okay,
that story,
okay. So listen, if that's gonna be because I didn't know. You
Okay.
didn't tell me the categories.
Hey,
It's
you
kinda
gotta,
your fault.
you gotta listen to
I would
the
like to
to the
change my answer as
category.
well.
Yeah.
You gotta
Okay.
listen to the category.
I would like to change my answer as well. So,
But I do cast my vote because I do like Crow better as protagonist. I would watch that movie over again.
yeah,
Where I can tell you for sure I don't want to watch the Egerton one again.
I
Yeah.
probably won't. Yeah.
But when we get to that later category,
Okay.
That's going.
So I would like to
somewhere
change
else,
my answer as well.
All right. To
We're all
Crow.
about fact checking on this podcast.
please let Bird pick Egerton.
And so protagonist, not Robin Hood.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Russell Crowe. All right.
Yeah, you got to define these categories better, bro. Or you're gonna get a weird Joe again.
I said protagonist.
Yeah,
You're gonna get a weird joke.
I understood
again.
exactly what he
Like
was
it's
talking
your
about.
fault for him to.
It is
Because I was hearing you guys talk, and I'm like,
Hey,
Mm.
I take
Don't
responsibility.
matter.
I take
Listen,
responsibility.
listen,
I diverted.
if there was no category where we get to really take a look at the adaptation,
You don't trust that I have a category ready for?
why would
talking
I?
about-
Better
It
blow. What
does-
are we talking?
It
I'm just
doesn't,
kidding.
it doesn't matter if he doesn't have the Robin Hood. The
Better extended
category was
chase sequence in
protagonist.
the third act.
It does because at that point we're combining it, right? So it is better protagonist, but better protagonist playing what?
Hmm.
He's playing Robin Hood. That'd be like saying we want to better protagonist, right? And we're gonna look at the Deadpool and Wolverine movie,
Keep all this.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you got a whole bunch of Wolverines to choose from there.
Yeah.
But that'd be suddenly saying, well, I mean, Ryan Reynolds, right? Ryan Reynolds didn't play. He was in the movie,
Yeah.
but he wasn't Wolverine,
Yeah.
right?
Are
No,
you saying Wolverine was the protagonist?
In that movie,
Uh-huh.
a protagonist,
And so was Ryan Reynolds?
he was. And if
So
that
you're saying
movie,
that-
we're
Wesley
trying to
Snipes played. I'm just kidding.
we're trying to figure out the best protagonist in that movie,
Yeah.
right? And we're playing them against each other, no problem, right? But this movie, Robin Hood, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
I see what you're saying.
Yes,
yeah.
we want to figure out who the best protagonist is, but you
Better
can't
Robin
separate
Hoods.
what
Yeah.
the movie is from the acting was really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who are you going with?
Because that's legitimately. Because like think about it like this.
Agree to disagree.
Well, think about it like this. Let's say that Russell Crowe acted the heck out of it, right?
Yeah.
But the movie was awful. He was the only good thing in it,
Mhm.
right? But he is playing Superman, and you're like, man, he's a great Superman. But the movie's called Robin Hood,
Mhm.
right? So whose fault is it at that point?
Probably Warner Brothers because they put Superman.
In a Robin Hood movie?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
No, it could happen.
He would
Green Arrow already exists.
He would play
Medieval
Superman's
Justice
dad.
League.
First of all, it wouldn't be Superman. The way I'm looking at it is because we're talking about the protagonist, who's the better protagonist, and we're saying that Russell Crowe was not Robin Hood,
Yeah.
but he was still a good protagonist.
Right.
So that's why I'm
He works-
separating.
So what I'm saying is if I can define it, he works great as a character. He does not work great in this role or this
As Robin Hood.
as Robin Hood. Like,
Yeah.
and if you're going to call your movie Robin Hood, you have to like have him play Robin Hood. That's like
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I had these.
It
two
was
separate
almost.
categories.
It was almost too much of an origin movie.
I feel like we've had
Like too much of an origin movie. It's like if Ant-Man got his suit at the end of the movie.
because Marvel would never do that.
Yeah. And so, like, was Daredevil season 1?
Well, that's different.
But yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
it's a little
That's
bit
why
like,
I want to know: is there a distinctive, like, better Robin Hood category?
Yes, there will be like
versus-
adapting.
Yeah, because
All
I
of
still
Robin
think lead character Russell Crowe for me. But I fully agree with what Joe's saying about, like, dude, the guy wasn't Robin Hood. Like,
Yeah.
the younger Robin Hood could easily take him in any fight. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's flipping around multiple arrows.
How
like,
about this? I know people love the
that's
Arrowverse,
interesting.
right?
Yeah,
That's
Arrowverse, Green Arrow, people love it since we mentioned it several times.
yeah.
But legitimately, he's not Green Arrow. He's Batman with a bow and arrow,
Right.
right? And we made this joke earlier about Egerton being Batman, right?
Yeah.
Like, because we can make the same argument if you want. But the
If-
fact is, he did use a bow and arrow throughout the movie, wore a hood.
And he still does like rob from the rich, give to the poor. Barely saw any of that from Russell Crowe.
Absolutely. It happened one time,
Yeah.
right? And so legitimately, for me, it's hard to separate those. Now, again, since we redefined it, absolutely. Russell Crowe was a better protagonist. I mean, he's
Okay.
a better actor anyway.
Yeah.
So
But that is your pick?
For sure. If we're
Okay.
just doing purely protagonist,
Okay.
Russell Crowe gets my
All
pick.
right, all right. But I also agree with you.
You don't want to be on his bad side.
No. Yeah, no.
Yeah, you will
Stop.
buzz
He
you.
doesn't want the button.
Yeah. Bird.
So you're
It's
the
your
only-
turn.
It's my turn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I mean, I started the thing, right? So I
Let this bird fly.
I say Russell Crowe was not the better protagonist. It was Turk. He was the best.
Took?
Turk?
He's not the protagonist. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. No, it was
Jamie
Russell Crowe. He's
Foxx.
the better
Yeah.
protagonist.
I thought you were talking about like you were mispronouncing Tuck.
Yeah, it took me a second too.
Friar
That's why I was
Tuck?
looking at him. I was like, Bird.
No, what's the Friar
Yeah,
guy?
Friar
Yeah.
Tuck. Yeah.
Tuck.
Yeah.
Is that what his name is?
You call him Turk.
Turk.
Like
Turk.
from Scrubs.
He was good too.
He's-
That's a good
hey,
protagonist.
Let's talk about Scrubs, actually.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I do like
New
Turk.
podcast.
Scrubs versus Grey's Anatomy.
Eagle.
It's Scrubs all the way.
Hey, but you did bring up an interesting thing with Egerton versus Crowe as far as fighting skills.
Oh, heck yeah.
Do you
Like,
think
Is that a
Egerton-
category?
Who could win in a fight? No, it's not.
We
a
have to
category.
move on then.
Yeah, but that's
We'll talk about that off air.
That's my basement podcast.
All right,
Yeah,
category
yeah.
2. I already
Yeah.
know what's coming. What is category 2?
Best bow.
Best bow. Yeah, it's argument time, guys.
okay.
It's antagonist.
Joe, go
Okay.
first.
Classic
Strong.
room upstairs.
Mark Strong, done.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna define them real
Yes.
fast.
Yeah.
Who are the antagonists of these movies?
Yeah.
It's Mark Strong,
Okay. He's from
And,
the Crow.
Russell Crowe
Mhm.
versus Ben Mendelsohn
Mhm.
and Taron Egerton. One of them, I think, is really. I think this is interesting because Mendelsohn is playing the sheriff of Nottingham,
Right.
who is like
The main.
classically the Robin Hood villain,
Yeah.
right? And there is a sheriff of Nottingham in the Russell Crowe one, but he does nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Like I confused him with the French king that hired Mark Strong at first
The
because they
real
both have like
antagonist.
the beard and the black greasy hair.
The guy that makes Mark Strong eat that bloody muscle.
Yeah, I just thought that was an interesting differentiation that these movies made, and
Yeah.
another point towards the Russell Crowe one being a not Robin Hood movie.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
why is this random assassin our
Godfrey.
main? Yeah, Godfrey. Why is he our villain? One,
Mark Strong.
he does have a really cool villain theme.
Yeah.
That
he
music
did.
is mwah, piece de resistance. That's so good.
Yeah. I
um,
mentioned it to you, but it reminded me of the Black Panther
Oh,
Killmonger.
the
theme.
Killmonger theme. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's so menacing. Like he just has that like menacing aura, you know.
Yeah.
He's one of them people, regardless of who he plays, you root for him to start being bad.
Yeah.
Just so you
Oh
can
man.
see
Yeah, it's like Alan
Shazam.
Rickman.
Yeah, every role he's in,
Damn.
even when he's a good guy, you're like, but you're gonna double cross somebody, right?
You're bad, right?
Right, Mark? And then
Yeah.
the movie ends with like, all right, Mark. Well, in the second one, can
The
you be
Kingsman.
bad? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Kingsman, yeah, his death is so sad.
Yeah.
But you're like,
Like, oh, he was legit a good guy. Weird.
yeah,
That's the real twist.
That's-
Mark Strong isn't a villain.
yeah.
Okay, so I think we just all agreed right there that Mark Strong is the better one.
I don't know.
But
Let's
he's
hear
going
Bird out.
against Ben Mendelsohn,
Okay,
who was
okay.
also
Okay,
He's also-
okay. I'm gonna talk about Ben Mendelsohn.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Sound
talk
like
about
Joe
Ben
Pesci
Mendelsohn.
just now. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. He's playing Krennic.
Yeah. It's essentially Rogue
but it was
One.
before
This
that.
movie is Rogue One.
He also
That was 2018. it was
also
after.
got like Ready Player One vibes, like his character from Ready
I
Player
forgot
One.
he's in that
Because,
movie.
let's be honest,
Yeah.
He might be the antagonist of the movie. Most of the movie is him having other people do things.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Where Mark Strong,
he's in there.
dude, let me do it. I'll sneak people over here. I'll
Ooh,
do.
let's one-on-one fight a blind man.
Yeah. Dude, that part's sad, man. It's rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Ready Player One.
I forgot he's in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. But like you're saying, he does spend most of the time telling other people, go do these things.
Yeah.
I like the idea of bringing in Robin Hood's old captain from his time in the army as like a villain for him to fight. That
That guy was a jerk.
Yeah, that was a cool
Yeah.
idea. Sure, let's do that.
Don't be afraid to bring
yeah.
the jerk back. Like
Yeah.
once it's a jerk, bring it back.
Yeah. Why does
You know?
he get like No, I think he gets a good send off, like kind of mini boss, not quite the final showdown with the sheriff.
Can I just throw in here, like, in support? I know he probably doesn't need it, but in support of Mark Strong, like your protagonist is going to be like, sure, you can get standout, right? But they have to be able to, in some way, unless they're just going to destroy him, because there have been times where like you got a really good protagonist. Movie's awful, but you're like, man, that dude was chewing the scenery, right?
Yeah.
But like Mark Strong is able to, I feel like, really complement Russell Crowe, right?
Yeah, they work really well together.
Crowe's a really legitimately good actor, and like you can see that. Like that's why he got my vote. Like he is a good protagonist, and Mark Strong has such a good presence that you believe, yeah, these guys would definitely butt heads and have beef. Like Mendelsohn is great actor. I don't know, Egerton deserves that level of bad.
Yeah, I agree. So I have two main points against Mendelsohn that give my vote to Mark Strong, because that's who I'm voting for. Mark Strong.
One,
so good.
One, he's really a scroll in disguise.
God.
Entire movie.
I'm telling you, this new Robin Hood movie is everything.
It's the post credit scene or whatever.
I missed that. So one, his main beef is with Little John, and if he's going to be the antagonist, like we've talked about before in the infamous Addams Family episode, he's got to be actively against the protagonist, right? And he has very little to do with actual Robin Hood. Like, he's the sheriff, so he's got to keep law and order and stuff.
You know what legitimately...
But his personal beef is with Little John.
That legitimately makes him a side character.
That's true. The old captain has more of a personal connection.
Yeah.
Wait, it makes who the side character?
Robin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of my problems with the movie, is that Jamie Foxx almost overshadows.
Yeah, like
Egerton.
Jamie Foxx should have been the one to have beef with the old captain, because that's the guy who killed his son.
Right.
Like, why did they not get to have a cool fight together? That would have been so satisfying. Instead, we get his interrogation scene with Ben Mendelsohn, which is good, but it's kind of soured the more I think about it, because that should have been Taron Egerton. That should have been the one-on-one moment between our hero and villain, where we get like a real, they hate each other.
That's some sour ear candy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you vote, was that both your points?
That was my first point,
Okay,
but second point, this movie does the weird thing where it wants its villain to be like this calculating, like terrifying presence, like you can... Yeah, like Ra's al Ghul or the Emperor is like the perfect version of this character. Like, he doesn't do anything until the final act of the third Star Wars movie, unless you count the prequels, but like original Star Wars trilogy. But he's been commanding all of it. Like, that is why he's the antagonist, is because he's been the force behind everything that's happened. Yeah. And then when you finally do see him actually taking action, he almost kills Luke.
Yeah.
It takes Darth Vader to stop him, And the entire time, he never loses control. Like, he's always in control of his situation. It's not until Vader betrays him, which he couldn't have foreseen, that he ends up losing. And Ben Mendelsohn, sheriff, doesn't do that. He explodes at almost every possible chance. There's only a few moments, like the interrogation scene, that are actually good, where he gets like this, where he feels like a big menacing threat, Like, he doesn't feel like he deserves to be sending other people out. He feels like he should go out and do it himself, because he's just not big enough of a guy. Like, the priest is more of an intimidating villain than he is, because he has like a scene where he laughs, and then he's in like 2 scenes. That's all he needs.
Yeah,
to be.
The priest was pretty crazy. Yeah.
But those are my against Ben Mendelsohn. Why I think he doesn't work as a protagonist or antagonist.
For Mendelsohn, when he goes,
debate,
get me through that fire, and then the guards
the
fire, and he walks.
That
through.
scene goes really hard.
That fire scene was fire.
That
it was fire.
That's what I'm saying. There's a cool
and
few moments where he's like, okay, that's a cool villain.
When he's talking to Turk and he's like, "Remember, God's up there. I'm down here."
Yeah, that's a good line.
That was hot.
That's a good line too.
So you're going.
I'm voting Mark Strong.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark Strong.
A couple of good scenes don't make a overall.
Yeah, no,
overall
Mark
thing.
Strong, like everything, all the good things are saying about Ben Mendelsohn. Mark Strong does that in every scene he's in. He never explodes, as far as I can remember. Like maybe near the end,
He does
he
not.
kind of
No.
he doesn't. Yeah,
He's still
no.
just. Yeah, he's still
He's
just.
cold and
Yeah.
calculating.
Even when he
and,
gets killed through the throat, he like
He laughs.
smiles.
Yeah.
He laughs. And then,
I like to think headcanon he knew in that moment, like, oh, that's the guy who shot me
Like,
before.
what if
Yeah.
he makes this shot?
yeah, because he
Yeah.
at that point still didn't know who scored his face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like to think that that's the moment he realized. Oh,
I
he
think
did it.
I think
before.
that's the idea.
the
yeah.
implication. It's the
Mhm.
implication.
That's
It's the implication. I'm gonna go Mark Strong as well. I did just
Because you like yourself a strong man.
yeah. The sheriff in the new
Hey,
Robin
he
Hood.
left his mark.
Yeah, the new sheriff in the new Robin Hood. It felt like, why are you there? Like when all this other stuff's happening instead, you know. And then literally to top it all off, the end of the movie, he's just immediately replaced with like the X.
Yeah,
So it shows you right there
He was
how
not
bad
a-
of a bad guy is he when
if he gets replaced
let's
by this,
just put someone else in the
this
role.
doofus.
Yeah, like who cares? And I get it, it's the first Robin Hood, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe stuff can change. But I don't know, man. Like I don't know. Like Mark Strong was just better in all these aspects.
Yeah.
Like even visually, he gets scarred up, so he looks bad. He looks
He's
like
got this cool silhouette.
dude, everything about him,
He
the
was
fact
shaving with a knife.
Yeah, he-
Dry.
dude, he's playing both sides.
Oh yeah.
Like the guy clearly had a longer agenda
Yeah.
of like, I'll
I'll betray France if I need
yeah,
to.
like he doesn't care. Like give me 12 guys and I could destroy a country. Like
Those are cool characters.
where the sheriff, yeah, he does. Like he's almost fumbling around constantly. Like I had a perfect plan, but that plan was no one stood against me. That's not a perfect plan.
Yeah.
You weren't challenged. The second you get challenged by two people,
Yeah.
you start failing. And so it comes off as like the best way I can describe it is like the sheriff from like Dukes of Hazzard. Like, I'm always trying to get those Duke boys, and he's always behind him, and he's fumbling around. That's what it came off as.
Mm.
And you're not even a scary bad guy. Like, we knew watching that whole movie who was gonna win. Where
So if somebody told you like this movie was originally intended to be a comedy, you'd be like,
I get it.
I see
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
we should have been battling this one with Men in
Yeah,
Tights.
and we talked about how the Russell Crowe Robin Hood does feel more serious, and so maybe that plays into it. But I mean, Mark Strong, man, he just does a good job as a villain, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so maybe I'm being biased, but the fact that you guys all agree with me, I feel like I'm not. I think he killed it, and so Joe,
Mark Strong.
yeah,
I already put down all of our votes.
good.
Category the third.
All right.
Category the
We're
third.
moving through these.
Yeah, we're
There's
zooming.
27 of them.
We're
We've got
Oh,
three
zooming.
down.
gosh.
Because we're
All right.
Zoomers.
This one's gonna be a little interesting. Little John.
Yeah. Russell Crowe version, Little John.
Yeah,
That's also an easy one for me. I mean, to have Jamie Foxx be the main character, Little John be the main character, because we talked about that just a little while ago. That didn't work for me.
Having him be the mentor was a bold choice.
Yeah.
That
Bold
also,
choice, Netflix.
so that's a whole.
yeah.
That's
He's
a whole.
Chewy and like old Ben.
Yeah.
Like you can't do like it felt like Jamie Foxx did great,
Yeah. He
but was that what you were supposed to do? Is be great? You're a side character.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Right?
it's like,
But again, like you said, he was almost like the main character in the movie of Robin Hood,
yeah.
which shouldn't be the case.
Lost his son. Like he had more invested.
If that guy's name was something else, also, then I think that could have worked. Like if there was no Little John, right? Because it's the origins of Robin Hood. There doesn't need to be a Little
He gives
John.
off, and I know I've already gave Joe such a hard time, so it seems weird and hypocritical for me to do this. But in the Kevin Costner one, Morgan Freeman's character,
Hey, we're talking about that one next year.
I know, but it does. It feels more like that. It doesn't feel like Little John. And so
I also vote the newer
Kevin Durant.
yeah.
Oh wait, you vote Jamie Foxx?
The
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe one because
Proxima Caesar.
They do have like they don't start as friends, like they like gain each other's respect,
They fist fight.
which is like historically that is accurate, or not historically, but like
they challenge each other to a that fight.
According to the mythos,
Yeah.
right? That is why they are friends. I mean, it would have been great to see them develop more of a friendship, right? The Russell Crowe one was like romance, which got no problem with. You can do romance great. The Costner one has it, right? But also
would have been cool to see the friendship. You know?
Yeah, because you also had Will Scarlet. Like, I mean, they did some cool stuff, but most of the time they're just there. But even then, I think they're still better than the weird dynamic we got going on with the
it's almost like he went too cool. You can't be too cool, Jamie.
Yeah,
you gotta tone it down.
Stop it! Stop putting your hand in the cool metal bar.
I mean, literally, they had to kill him in Baby Driver because he was too cool. They had to.
Yeah, it worked, man.
Yeah,
it got me. I was like that scene. I was like, I did not.
I mean, honestly, I thought he was gonna die in this one. I was like, he's too cool. He's too cool. They're gonna kill him, and then it ends with like, all right, okay,
they're gonna start a rebellion.
So, yeah, I voted the older one.
Yeah, I vote the older one too.
Sweet.
And I think we'll get into I think we'll get into some of the details when we start talking about Robin Hood of why I also didn't like Jamie Foxx. But all right, next category.
Love interests. Russell Crowe.
Why'd you hold that S out so long, man?
So this
Cate Blanchett.
Cate Blanchett versus Eve Hughes.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah. Why does the movie start with her as a thief? It makes no sense.
Listen, can I rant also?
Yeah, go ahead.
Maid Marian. Maid.
Yeah.
Which means she should be serving someone, right? Which she did technically. But they were typically young and virginal. Right? She's full on married and has to match Crowe, who's 45 years old when they filmed this movie. Right? I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with an older guy playing a role, right? Tom Cruise does it all the time. Whatever. That's fine. It just didn't feel... Still, to me, did not feel Robin Hood Maid Marian-ish.
So who's your
and I'm going to add, right? We can't, apparently nowadays, we can't have a damsel in distress, right?
Well,
I say this after having watched The Prince of Thieves, right? Which I know we're not talking about, right? But like Maid Marian in that is legitimately like damsel in distress. Like she'd just be watching them fight and hilarious. Like in the background, you just watch her and she's just like, right? Okay, but this Maid Marian, she's like, I'm putting on armor. I'm going to fight.
Yeah.
And then almost gets killed and almost gets him killed. And then he kisses her alive. So I don't know, man.
He's split.
Okay.
Listen, I'm going to say at least she is a character.
Yeah.
I can't really say that about...
No, what's the category? Is it Best Maid Marian? Love interest? Okay, she wins.
Yeah.
The new one?
No, Blanchett. Because he's not saying Best Maid Marian.
Yeah, because the other one isn't Maid Marian. It's a thief lady.
Yeah.
That is American for some reason.
Yeah. My thing with her was, and really though, most of the characters of the movie, they're all beautiful looking people. Like they're movie stars, right? Like these are the guys that you see on the billboards and you're like, wow, that's Hollywood, right? Like that's these guys.
He's talking about that Oscar Isaac scene.
He's talking about
no, I'm talking about the new one.
Oh, the new one.
Taron Eagerton, right? Like he's supposed to be like the heartthrob, right?
Yeah.
This Eve Hughes girl, like beautiful girl. Like they highlight her eyes, right? Like she's got these beautiful eyes, right?
I guess.
So like it's like they're the beautiful people. Mm-hmm. Like that's what this movie is, right? It's like
very Hollywood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
I see what you're saying.
You get it. You're just trying to make jokes. You're just joking.
I just love.
For shame, Hayden.
Dude, I don't even care that I'm laughing. You're just cracking me up. It's not even that you're not being right. It's just it's funny that you are the person to say it, not like.
Oh, you wanted to?
No, just keep going.
Okay,
man.
all right. So they're the beautiful people. And they just stay beautiful the whole movie. Like they're going through all these battles,
That's
right?
your qualm, like
they're like clean.
You can't
like,
be hot.
Hair's good.
They're all like, yeah.
No.
You're too hot.
I get where he's coming from because then you watch the older one and like everybody's gross and dirty, man.
Yeah.
And let's be real, like that's real life.
I
They're
mean, it
not
was
taking
medieval
showers
times,
daily,
yeah.
right?
They're living in the
Edgerton's
woods.
No,
hair
but that's
shouldn't
the
be
point.
perfect
Yeah,
in
yeah.
every scene.
No,
Right.
you're not wrong. It's just how you keep saying beautiful people a lot, and all. It's just making me laugh. That's all. You're not
You
wrong,
got something wrong with beautiful people?
dude. Again, you're not wrong. It's just how you're saying it, and you keep saying beautiful people, beautiful people. They're beautiful people. They're hot people, man. Like
Ooh,
That's
hot.
not what I said.
you were trying not to say it. That's why you're saying it with your eyes.
Conventionally
man.
attractive.
Move
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
Zoe Deschanel.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Egerton.
All right. So anyway, that was my problem with like her and really the whole cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're saying that she just wasn't a character. The new one wasn't
Yeah.
really that much of a character.
She wasn't needed. Like,
Yeah.
no purpose, no.
She was just there because she's Lady Marian and
Yeah.
she's like the love interest of Robin Hood.
Yeah.
And this is a Robin Hood movie. So like we got to throw her in there. And yeah,
It's
Blanchett, I mean, also like Blanchett is just like Russell Crowe, another great actor.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't compare them. But the category was best
Best
love
love
interest. They had the better chemistry.
They did,
Blanchett and
that's true.
Crowe.
Like we got to slowly see their romance build.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Debatable.
Yeah,
It wasn't
I mean,
great.
They
think
were
it-
married right when the first time they met. So that's
it
yeah.
was like that. So I'm gonna go with best love interest. It's probably the sheriff in the new one. I mean, every time he's
He is a
giving
beautiful
money,
man, isn't he?
every time he's giving money and doing stuff, the Egerton guy,
Interest like
he's like making eyes at him and stuff and everything. Yeah, this is all a bit.
not bank interest,
Yeah.
okay? Different kind.
But no, this is clearly all a bit. I am doing Kate Blanchett.
okay.
But,
move over Zoe Deschanel.
but
Plus, you phrased it in the worst way possible.
what?
You said, "I'm doing Kate Blanchett."
No, I didn't say it.
That is how you said it.
I didn't mean to. What I'm getting at is this new one essentially barely even had a love interest because, like TallBeing already said, they force feed you all this content right at the beginning. So at no point in the movie do they feel like they owe you anything else.
That's that weird pacing I was talking
It's
about.
so stupid. And so, classic Joe argument, if you can take something out of the movie and nothing changes, then it's stupid.
It doesn't need to be. Yeah, it's
Right.
it's
And so, honestly, it's a weird category to have. I mean, I get why you did it. This movie, it has an X at the beginning of the movie, and then that's it. No love interest.
You know, if we were talking about Prince of Thieves, there'd be a whole different argument.
Yeah, there would.
All right.
Next year.
Next year.
Next
It's
year.
coming.
So did we all say
But listen, here's
2010?
legitimately, why are we doing Prince of Thieves with the original when legitimately,
Because it was the first.
right? But
first
Men in
remake.
Tights actually makes fun of that one. Like they feel like they're paired better.
Joe,
you know
this
what
is
I'm
something we could talk about in the basement.
saying?
Not
That's- I hope that people don't like start the episode on that story. Why does this guy want to taking this dude to the basement, man?
Okay.
all right. Main setting.
The main setting.
Yeah. Because I think they both try to do some world building.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Okay.
World.
Russell Crowe again, because it is an enormous world.
It is huge.
It does France and also England and different parts of England, and we get a whole bunch of Nottingham, and that's really cool to me. And we get the towns right outside of Nottingham, and we get
The
the
Northern
castle.
Lords.
Yeah, it's really cool. We get to see a lot of the world. The other one, which is mostly in Nottingham, and then the
The
Middle
mine.
East.
Yeah, and then also that big giant mine that's
Oh,
somehow
yeah.
bigger than the city.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. This is where I kind of wanted to get into that because that's one of the things that felt extremely fantasy-ish. Like it feels like a fantasy world that someone made. It's like
Yeah.
this is where Robin Hood
This
is going
whole
to be
town's
instead
a
of
mine.
yeah,
It's
instead
like,
of this is
yeah.
England where Robin Hood.
Whenever I
usually
talk to
is.
people who've been in England, they talk about that mine.
Listen,
Can't-
that was
You can't
way
miss
too.
it. It's huge.
That's
so
way
big.
too nice looking for England. Come on, we gotta be honest.
This was in the medieval times, so it wasn't as nice.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
every time it shows
Keyword
like a nice,
evil.
Exactly. Very English.
Evil mind.
But every time it shows like a nighttime outside shot, there's like flames coming out of the chimneys and like
because they're having to burn all the excess coal that they're mining. Like that's the problem. They're mining
too much coal.
They're mining so much of resources that they don't need clearly because the town's hurting for gold but it's like, guys, we have everything's made of coal.
Yeah. Everyone's but like also everyone's wearing like suits and stuff. Yeah. Like that looks kind of medieval-ish inspired, but it's obviously a suit, you know? It feels like if you told me this is a fantasy world and there's like magic and stuff going on here and we're doing a movie series, I'm sold.
It's
this
Dungeons
has like
and Dragons.
It's got a really cool aesthetic. Yeah,
it's Dungeons and Dragons.
Got a cool aesthetic to it that I'm gonna steal.
Like the Charlie Hunnam King Arthur movie. It feels more like a D&D based thing.
Yeah.
Where, you know, the Russell Crowe Robin Hood, it tried to be like...
It's a historical epic.
Just like the other King Arthur. Like, it is weird. Like,
that's what I said earlier. Like, it's a great period piece.
Yeah.
It's not Robin Hood, but it's a good period piece.
Yeah, like it's so similar to like Braveheart or something.
Right.
Like something where it's like
this feels
you
like...
Google, was this a real dude? It's not a real dude. You know, like, but I agree with you. The other one,
maybe
it's so.
But Dungeons and Dragons,
Sorcerer Guy Ritchie movie.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it does. It feels.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, how do you have a mine that big, but the town's poor? Like, stop building. Like, you're expanding the mine. Like, get it to another business. Like, I don't know. It was just so huge.
In context,
they were getting taxed. They couldn't.
Yeah.
And keep building. Like,
they need places to live in.
Yeah.
All I know is if I had no money and I just kept building, like, I would still have no money. Like, I don't know. Like, it just seemed weird.
Yeah, you know what I would do is I would be like, oh, we're getting taxed. Next time the tax collectors come, we're going to have this rope set up so they have to stop at the rope. On the other side of the rope where they're going to be standing, we're going to dig a pit. We're going to put some boards right there. We're going to fill that junk with coal. And when they're standing there, we're lighting that junk on fire. No more taxes.
That was going to be the second
and
movie.
We get to eat some horse.
They needed Robin Hood to set that up for them. They weren't thinking.
They couldn't think of it because they're just dumb little towns.
They were deprived of food. They didn't have the.
They didn't have a Jamie Foxx.
They didn't have the nutrients.
How to jump around and shoot bows like with blindfolds.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because this like fell into that period where like everything was parkour. You know, like and it's definitely dated itself. You know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I agree because the world of the Crow one, like, I mean, it feels like a real world. And again, it works as a period piece. I mean, there's just, again, aside from it not being Robin Hood, got no complaints about it.
So the thing with the new one, right, which I thought was funny, they start off with, was it narrating or was it written? I don't remember.
The new one,
the Crow one had writing.
Okay, so the new one was narrated where he's like,
"Forget everything you thought."
I was a rich boy,
but not that part where he's like, "This takes place at a time that is not specific to anything."
Hey,
so when
you're probably wondering how I got into this.
You're probably wondering how I became Robin Hood.
Yeah, but that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
So
and also the friar was narrating for some reason.
But for them to say specifically like that it's a vague time frame was the funny part to me because that's how they're able to
post-apocalyptic future.
Right. But that's my point.
That would be a great twist actually.
That's my point is that we don't know.
It's like Robin Hood 2330. And it's like, whoa!
When they're at the end of the movie, when they're walking through the woods, they come out of this clearing and they're on the beach and they look up. It's the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say like an old Burger King.
Hey, no. What's that? The Village by Shyamalan. Right?
Oh, yeah.
They look up and there's a plane flying over.
What kind of dragon is that? It's like, guys, we're made. Like, we can't.
Right. We can't fake it anymore. That's a plane.
It does make more sense as a post-apocalyptic future movie.
But
though.
that's what I'm saying.
The more I think about it.
That's why I thought that was so funny for them to be like, yeah, it's at a time. It happens. Yeah. Don't worry about when, because that explains
there was a time
in a galaxy far, far away.
Right, that explains the suits where they have these suits. That explains like the parkour
and the weird religion that we don't know. Is that the guy bad or is religion bad now? Like,
explains the music that they have.
That's true. It's true.
So I thought that was funny. And I thought that was their way of like, this is how we're gonna make it modern.
So we're just deciding it is a future.
Sure,
Okay.
Let's do it.
I might change my vote right now.
It's up there with Book of Eli. Like it was all leading up to this.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. In the context of a Robin Hood movie, the Russell Crowe one is better.
Mhm.
But I like the setting idea as like a fantasy world of the other
Robin
one.
Hood?
Like it just felt cool.
Yeah.
It had a cool style to
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it had style. It wasn't
Yeah.
just like a piece movie. It was a styled movie.
Which I think that was still styled. Like really, Scott still has his the way he does it.
The way
But,
he
like,
directs, yes,
yeah.
but not the actual setting.
Yeah.
Right, so the setting is what's styled. Like you say with the flames, like he
Yeah.
runs through with the horse, and then there's flames that pop up right when he's
Yeah.
like, "Eee!"
Joe, put the mine in our D&D campaign. Just a giant mine.
Yes.
So, did you answer?
I don't know what the question was.
Best setting.
Main setting.
Best setting? Okay. I think the Crow one was better.
That's what I'm saying. It's so.
All right, I'm
the other
also-
one is so cool.
You are forever the devil's advocate. Like just
the other one is just
you make
so
this big
cool.
argument for it.
I'm
and
telling
like,
you, dude.
but I'm not voting for that one.
It's
But
like what I
it's
said
not-
about the Brahms. Like he apologizes to
No.
all the other ice cream because there's a viewer out there
No,
that
it's-
someday is going to message Bird and be like, "You didn't defend."
It's not that. I'm
The
taking
bad
I'm
movie.
taking you through my process of
Yeah.
why I choose
Okay.
what I choose and what I see when I'm
Hey.
watching these movies.
Yeah, this podcast is about finding the good in even the bad.
Yeah,
movies
these
by
beautiful
battling them
people.
against each
and
other.
I'm
Beautiful people out here.
They're all beautiful people.
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Move over
Beautiful.
Zoe Deschanel.
I'm
we got so many.
That's
new
my new
things in the
catchphrase.
bingo card.
So
Yeah.
I'm also gonna go with the Russell Crowe movie, just because of based off of everything you guys have said and the fact that it's the one Robin Hood that we already talked about. Like we'd be fine with the sequel. Like give us more of this world.
Yeah, but
That
now that you've heard my
if
side
the
of it,
other,
do you
if-
want a sequel? Maybe.
Of
If
the
the-
Russell Crowe?
No, of Egerton.
if the
No.
Egerton
Oh.
one reveals that it is in the future, I'm in.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Like they first had to
No.
fight the machines, and then like so they lost all their weapons. Like give us that, and then like I'm in, I'm back in. Yeah, but no, I gotta go.
Not
Russell.
against
I gotta
it.
go Russell Crowe.
Okay. Did
I
you
already
He
go?
answered. He
Okay.
answered
All right.
an hour ago.
all right. Let's
I'm also gonna.
How many
real fast,
categories? How many categories?
Real fast!
The bow that the bad guys had at the beginning.
Yeah, they had like repeating crossbows.
All right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like this was
Okay,
vague for that reason.
it's futuristic.
All right,
We already
lightning
decided.
round. Lightning round. Go.
all right. Lightning round. Let's do this. All right. We've been talking about this already, so I think we can get through this real fast. Adapting the Robin Hood story.
New one.
Okay, no, I've got rants on this one.
I gotta go with the new one also because
I've already
it's-
spilled. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more Robin Hoody than the
Robin
other
Hood.
one. Yeah, like the Sheriff of
You
Nottingham
should
is
make
the villain.
that like a Robin hoodie that you can sell. Like you know what I'm
Maybe
saying?
that would be,
It'd be
that's,
green.
that exists.
Forest
I'm sure
green.
that
Yeah.
exists. Yeah, so I'm also going Egerton.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Egerton and then
Wow.
surrender my time to Bird.
Okay. Where to start?
The advocating begins.
All right.
Yeah, where to start? How about your answer, and then we just move on? We have four
Hey.
other Robin Hood movies. sir.
If that's what you want to do,
No,
we
no,
could do that.
No, I want to hear why both are good, and then you'll
No,
give us
no.
one.
Okay, so both I think are bad.
Oh, both are bad.
So
The
Which
category's
is
not which
better?
ones.
I know which one's better. I think they're both bad. This is like a Harry Osborn. Like they're both just bad. Which one do I pick? Because, like we said, the Russell Crowe one's not.
Yeah,
Robin
no.
Hood.
And in that question, there's a clear winner, man. The
No, it
older-
wasn't for me.
What?
Shall we replay that right now?
He wants to play this out.
Go back to the
I'm
I'm just
Spider-Man
saying,
2
when they made a
episode.
movie and brought everybody together, which
Okay.
one did they bring back?
When they didn't bring either of them
Oh, yeah,
back.
they got what's face. Never mind. Whatever.
Jamie Foxx's Little John as Electro.
You know what?
Well-
They should do a Robin Hood where they just bring like individual actors from all the Robin Hoods
Just all the best
and just
ones.
mash it. Yeah, just make like Carrie
Just
Ellis
ask
is
AI
Robin
and be
Hood.
like, what
you
would
know?
be the best Robin Hood movie? And so it gives
Oh
us all
no! Oh no!
that's what we're doing here. Right?
We are
We are AI.
Let's let him do his spiel.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
We don't
Russell
need
Crowe.
artificial intelligence. We have natural
Hey,
stupidity.
that's not letting him do
Okay.
his spiel. Okay, Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, we already said is not Robin Hood.
Yeah,
He
he's
does a
Dr.
great-
Jekyll.
He does a great job playing his character, but he's not Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the bow very much.
He's more of a King Arthur type.
Yeah. He could be
sure.
a cool King Arthur.
Yeah.
Origin King Arthur, right?
Yeah. He's gonna be in the
'Cause he's-
next Egerton Robin Hood as the king.
Okay, so I'm taking this as an origin story, right? So we don't see a whole lot of that Robin Hood because by the end of the movie, he's in the forest,
Yeah.
right? And that's where the actual forest, merry man,
Mhm.
he's got his bow. Like that's where that whole thing starts for him.
Okay.
Egerton, yeah, he does more Robin Hood stuff during the movie, but he's a horrible Robin Hood. Like he doesn't want to be Robin Hood. Jamie Foxx is like talking him into everything.
Okay. I
The girl
guess.
is like, oh, look at you with your soft girl hands. Oh, you don't do war.
Well, that was before the war.
I know, but that's what we're watching. We're watching this Robin Hood.
Yeah.
And even after the war, he still gets trained to be good at archery, right? Like he's just okay at
He's
archery.
good enough for a war.
So was everybody else that died
Yeah.
in that
Well,
war.
no,
with
that's
him.
what I'm saying. No, I'm backing you up. I'm
Oh,
saying
okay.
like he was just good enough, like good enough for a war.
Yeah.
And then Jamie Foxx is like, all right, well, we're gonna take on like your countrymen. Like it needs
Yeah,
to be.
you got to be faster. You got to be
Yeah.
quicker. You got to look everywhere.
You
You got
gotta
to
be
use all your
Batman.
resources.
You got to be Batman. Yeah.
Exactly. So like he wasn't a good Robin Hood because he didn't want to be Robin Hood.
Yeah.
He did more Robin Hood things. Like we saw more Robin Hood things, but he still wasn't Robin Hood.
Hey, real quick,
Again,
real quick.
until the end.
Have you read a Robin Hood story?
No.
All right then.
Bird. So
I feel like that's a valid question.
Yeah.
it
Have
is.
you read a Robin Hood story?
No.
You?
I've never read a Robin Hood story.
I
but
have.
I grew up watching the Kevin Costner one, so I had a perception of Robin.
That's the point, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like Sherlock Holmes, right? There's stories before his Sherlock
Yeah.
Holmes.
All right, so here
that we
I'm
know,
gonna
but
I'm gonna
there's-
throw something out.
Okay.
This may be a curveball. I don't know.
All right.
All right. So, in the Once and Future King, which is King Arthur,
Mhm.
young King Arthur, and it follows him into his adulthood. When he's younger, Merlin takes him to do training, and he goes and trains with Marion and Robin Hood, and they teach him a whole lot of stuff, like instinct stuff, how to run through the woods to like help you be quiet, like some of the stuff that Egerton does, right? And so you can say like, oh no, he's doing all this training stuff. Legitimately, like I've at least read one Robin Hood story where that's pretty accurate for the character.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Again, curveball. I don't know.
Okay. So
Valid.
I still didn't like his portrayal of it.
Yeah, that's valid.
I think that's my point. Is like, sure, maybe it's accurate.
If he wasn't so
uh,
beautiful,
If he got
He's
dirt
beautiful
on his
people.
face at times,
Yeah, these
scratched
beautiful
up or something.
people.
So that's why it's hard to choose because both of them are like, bad Robin Hoods.
they are.
Well-
Yeah, and that's kind of why this whole thing started to begin with, right? Like, I mean, I have a hard time seeing the Crow one as Robin Hood at all.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at it by the end. Who was a better Robin Hood by the end? Because again, it's origin stories. This is how I'm looking at them because otherwise I just can't pick between them.
Okay.
So I'm looking at them as origin stories. They both do horrible stuff as like portrayals of Robin Hood. But by the end, are they the Robin Hood that we know, that we have the perception of?
Yes.
Right. I'm gonna say Russell Crowe.
All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sweep.
Close enough.
Yeah, you're getting shorter. I'll say that.
I'm trying.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time. Man. You're
I'm not
good.
trying.
All right. I think we really can lightning round these last three.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Pacing, script, and dialogue.
Old one.
Crow.
Yeah, Crow.
Well, see, what you got to think is, I'm just kidding. Russell Crowe.
They did a lot of editing.
That
on the new
depends.
one, right? And that's what made the problem.
The Crusades
If
were
you-
nothing like.
If you check the director's cut, it's actually a pretty good movie.
Is there an extended?
I don't know, dude.
Probably not.
Give us the Crow cut.
No, the Egerton cut.
I don't want to
No,
cut
it's
that
the
movie.
Fox cut.
No, that's where they reveal the post-apocalyptic Statue of Liberty at the end.
I really think it depends on whether or not you're a fan of Guy Ritchie.
And Jamie Foxx
Yeah.
is a time traveler. We needed closure on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, 2 left.
Yeah, we've talked about pacing. Not good in the Egerton one.
Yeah, just
Script.
like the podcast.
Also bad. Yeah, exactly. Dialogue, not better. So, all right. Music, score, soundtrack.
Yeah.
Okay, we've already talked about Mark Strong as Godfrey and his
incredible theme.
Yeah, I'm just
We didn't get a Ben Mendelsohn
No,
theme,
here's
man.
the thing, dude. The music just from the Russell Crowe one took me there.
Oh, yeah.
The new one, the music, whatever.
The new one took me out. I would say
There
that
you
was
go.
a
Yeah.
bad score.
So,
Well,
Russell Crowe.
The more I think about it, the more it kind of fits what they're doing of like this kind of futuristic medieval thing. Maybe this is me like gaslighting myself into thinking that's what they were doing the entire time. We've just talked about this enough.
Baby Driver, but with bows.
But-
Jamie Foxx in it. Dude, if it ended with John Hamm being the king, I would have been like, actually, this is a great movie.
Yeah.
Freaking John Hamm. No,
It becomes the new sheriff of
dude,
Nottingham.
no, it's still the John Hamm that won't die from Baby Driver in the future.
Prince John.
Yeah, in the future, that's just like, I'm gonna get you, kid, and like Egerton's like, what?
Prince John Ham.
And then you find out that's why Egerton's rich. He's a great descendant of Baby Driver. And Jamie Foxx is the reincarnated Jamie Foxx from
Too
Baby
many
Driver.
connections, man. Too many connections.
All right, so on this new episode of Basement,
Yeah,
we're gonna break down. I'm just kidding.
Uh,
So Russell Crowe.
basement.
Yeah. I would say, yeah, other one's bad score. I dislike that score. It felt too modern for the movie, to me, personally.
Yeah, we mentioned that while we were watching it. You said that it was a bad score. I was like, I kind of like the score.
Yeah.
But again, I'm seeing it how I just said. Like,
Yeah.
Dude,
it's
He went into that movie with a whole different mindset, man.
That's fair. I was expecting a very different thing from a movie called Robin Hood.
Well, I took into account what they said in the narration. Forget everything you know about Robin Hood. I was like, done. Let's go.
Mission accomplished.
Let's do it.
I'm glad we did this one first. Could we imagine we ended with this one? So you forget about all the other movies? You're like, honestly, they're all stupid. Because they're all in the future. And it's like, Bird, no.
Look, we're dragging this on here, right? Because my choice is still Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
That's the better music, the better score.
We are not dragging nothing on.
We are lightning rounding it.
Dude, you are dragging us.
I was just trying to make a quick point, and then we're sidetracking.
Listen, hey, the devil's advocate doesn't need to be played right now.
I'm just saying, I also liked it for what it was.
Oh, dude,
Russell Crowe was better.
Those beautiful people.
Done.
Moving on.
Beautiful
Moving on.
people.
Final category.
Best looking people. We already talked about it.
Taron Eagerton. Directing cinematography.
Oh.
It's Ridley Scott. It's the Russell Crowe one, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, here's the thing.
Everybody got quiet on that one.
Listen, I'm just saying the fact that I keep saying it feels like a Guy Ritchie knockoff, I can't vote for it, right? Like it doesn't even feel like it has its own style or anything, right? It's a flavor of a flavor.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
It's great value, Guy
the,
Ritchie.
The Russell
Yes.
the Russell Crowe Robin Hood feels like Gladiator.
Yeah.
So well,
Yeah, but that's still Ridley Scott. That's the point.
Well,
you know
see,
what? It was really it had similarities to Gladiator.
Yeah. It had
the King.
Yeah.
yeah, again,
like
it is
Joaquin
Ridley
Phoenix.
Scott.
Yeah. I mean, it was like
it was essentially Alien.
Like, tell us
all
what you
the
think
Ridley
about
Scott
King's
movies.
Ridley Scott.
Yeah. I wonder if he's pro or anti-democracy.
Yeah. I see Russell Crowe.
I caught this pretty early on, the Egerton one. But something that really, and then like the contrast was very stark then for the Russell Crowe one. Part of the reason it feels like a medieval movie is the way he films it. And I'm guessing he does the same thing for Gladiator, a movie I've not seen somehow. I know.
I
are we
didn't
doing
think
this
I was
podcast?
going to be frustrated with you. Why is our I don't know why that hit me weird. How have you not watched that?
It'd have been so funny if you just would have started choking him.
Why, you little?
Dude, that's like one of the first DVDs I ever watched.
I used to respect your opinion.
Oh my gosh.
But it's filmed in a way that makes it feel like a medieval movie. I don't know how else to explain it. The Egerton one is filmed like a John Wick movie, or like the Extraction movies. Specifically, that opening like war scene.
Yeah.
Something about the way like kind of longish takes, but like from the back, watching them all like sneak up and stuff, and then cutting over to the guy at what's essentially a Gatling gun.
It felt like Fallujah or something.
Yeah.
Like they're in
It
like
feels like
Afghanistan. It did. It felt like
it felt like a modern war movie
And we
instead of like
Or like
a
the Gears of
medieval-
War video game.
Yeah, it was like Call of Duty.
yeah, like it
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
yeah, it felt a little too
Go! Like they're using their bows for close combat, like
Yeah.
because they don't have pistols yet. And I'm like,
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, someone should have swords. Like I don't.
They're sweeping rooms.
It
like
was,
they're,
yeah,
like,
dude, it was so annoying because they have one arrow. You miss, your team's dead. So he's like, dude, there was a part of me that honestly I checked out for a minute and started playing on my phone because I was like, this is already trying to be something else.
Yeah, it did not.
So I'm
feel
glad you
like,
said that.
Yeah.
So
So
But
what's
it's
the
just real weird.
point tally?
I stopped. Taron Egerton gets
Did they
3
win?
points.
Oh, okay, I would say, did they get any points at all?
He got the 3 for
You're
our.
welcome, Taron. I'm pretty sure that was me.
So
So was that
beautiful
seven?
people.
No,
seven
it was-
categories
it-
times
it was
4
'cause-
of us.
It was because adapting Robin Hood.
Oh
it
yeah,
got
that's
those.
right. So 3 points out of 20,
4?
28?
What? Because it
Was it 7 categories or 6 categories?
9
9
categories.
categories. Holy,
9.
they got slaughtered then.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which
So-
I mean, it makes sense. It wasn't overall. It just wasn't that great of a movie. It wasn't put together. You know,
Yeah, it was weird. It's a weird movie.
Hey, but-
Weird post-apocalyptic movie.
But the
They're-
people in it, the people in it are beautiful.
they are.
Beautiful people.
I will put them.
Beautiful people just aren't believable in films.
I would put them on a. You know, that is so true. That is so true.
It really is, especially when
Yeah.
they do like these movies. Like I remember when I was a kid,
If
and
you're
they
doing
did
a movie
like
in New York, cool, do it.
what was it like? Yeah,
She's all that, man.
She's all that.
thank you.
Can't hardly
Like,
wait.
Yeah, so it was like it's a
Can't hardly
Empire
wait.
Records.
shut up. So it's a concept like that where they generally want you to believe that this nerdy lame girl is ugly.
Oh yeah.
And you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Like you guys don't even try.
Did
because
you
they do the
see-
spoof in
Yeah.
Not
in
another
the
teen movie. Yeah, like she's wearing overalls and
Yeah,
glasses.
she's got glasses. Yeah.
They take it off and then undo her ponytail.
And
She's
so
like,
there's points where you're like, guys, you could have tried a little bit to like. So.
yeah, and it's not that they're beautiful. That they could have made them unbeautiful.
They
during
weren't
the
battle
movie.
damaged.
They were not. They were not.
I want battle damaged Robin Hood.
That's what Russell
Yeah,
Crowe
I mean,
was.
Jamie Foxx lost an
So-
arm. Like he was. Like,
I know, but didn't he still look cool?
he did. He was so
Right?
cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Fight with a stab with one
Yeah,
hand.
like he's like, hey, how you gonna get
And
down
that's
that
hard,
rope? And he's
believe
like,
me.
"Ooh."
there's some
Gotcha.
Darth Maul stuff, and they're just like, and we have to root for Egerton when Jamie Foxx is clearly the cooler guy.
Yeah.
Move over Zoe Deschanel.
Oh, shut up! My locker is just Jamie Foxx.
And John
Beautiful
Hamm.
people.
Ever since Ray,
Yeah. You're gonna just have cutouts.
And John Hamm.
I do like John Hamm. I don't
He's
know.
another beautiful
So
guy.
I admire John Hamm, but I do like John Hamm.
All right, well, the Russell Crowe 2010 version wins.
Who would have
this
thought?
battle?
Who would have thought?
Next episode is the Sonya Awards.
Sonya
Go to
Awards.
our socials.
You want to talk over that just a little bit of what
okay.
the Sonyas are?
Okay.
Get prep everyone. If you weren't here last year,
Mhm.
you were. Every year now we have our annual finale episode, end of the year. We go through all of the movies and shows that we watched over the past year,
Mhm.
and they get to go into categories that we've decided, including our show of the year, our movie of the year, and then some dumb categories too.
Antagonist of the year.
This is a very important caveat to that. It's not necessarily movies that came out this year. It's movies
we have talked
watched.
about
at least
this year.
2 or 3 of us have watched
This season
This-
of The Room Upstairs.
this year.
Hey, yeah, this
So.
season.
So that's what goes into making this award show. So it could be an 80s movie. It could be a 60s movie.
Dude, it could be Monster Squad.
It is
just
Monster
about
Squad
every category.
is definitely in it. So yeah, so follow us on all the socials. We're on Instagram, Facebook.
I do like
YouTube,
TikTok,
Threads, TikTok, the Room Upstairs podcast on everything. Follow us. You can start voting on your favorite for whatever categories we have. We'll start putting them out there.
Yes.
And next episode, we'll go ahead and record that.
So if you're not following socials, you're not going to get to vote.
And don't forget our new podcast, The Basement Downstairs.
The Basement Downstairs, which is essentially me just weird recordings on shaky recordings on my phone.
We just go through all of your notes.
And Autumn just like, are you coming to bed? Hold on, they need to know.
Okay, well, join us next time. Room Upstairs podcast.
That's fandom for you.
You stole my line.
You weren't gonna do it.
I was gonna.
Niçoise salad. That is not how I would have spelled it, so I'm glad I did that. Okay, is a salad that originated... Oh, don't just tease me like that. I need you to show me.
Wait, no, that's not the one with the raw meat, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know if this is relevant information at this moment.